If you speak multiple languages, then you probably know how hard it can be to keep them all active. You forget words, you mix up grammar, and sometimes you just feel lost. But don't worry, I've got you. And today I will share 5 simple habits that will help you maintain your languages without spending hours on them. My name is Anastasia and I speak 5 languages and I'm learning 2 more, and trust me, I've struggled with this too. But these habits really help me to stay on top of my languages. And habit number 2 is a complete game changer because it lets you improve your language while enjoying something we all do a lot. And make sure to watch till the end because I'll share one surprising habit that may be ruining your language learning progress without you even realizing that. One of the best ways to keep a language fresh in your mind is to actually use it every day. And you don't need an hour-long conversation or a language lesson with a tutor to make progress. That's why I use this 5-minute conversation rule, and it's really good. The idea is simple. Every day I spend about 5 minutes talking in one of my native languages, and you can do it in many different ways. You can talk to a friend or a language partner, even a short voice message will count. You can speak to yourself, just describe your day, describe what you see around you, or maybe imagine you are talking to someone and explaining something. This is my favorite option because it's the most effortless one, so I do it really a lot. Or you can use AI, some voice assistants, try ChatGPT voice mode or some other apps and say something in your target language and have a short conversation. Why does it work? Because it keeps your brain actively producing the language instead of just passively absorbing it. And since 5 minutes a day really feel effortless, you are more likely to stay consistent. But don't be surprised if those 5 minutes turn into 10 or 15 minutes. Once you start, it's hard to stop sometimes, especially when you're talking to a friend or a language partner. Or even I sometimes, they can be really good nowadays. Like they ask you lots of questions and kind of keep conversation going. If you've ever learned a language in a classroom, and chances are you probably have, and then you've forgotten most of it, then you know the problem. You've been studying a language, but you haven't been living it. This is why daily immersion is such a powerful tool to maintain multiple languages, even if you don't live in the country where your languages are spoken. The easiest way to do it is to surround yourself with the language in a way that feels effortless and fun. This means watching YouTube, Netflix in the target languages, listening to podcasts, following social media influencers, all in your target languages. And to make sure I'm actually learning while watching something, I use tools like FluentU. This is an app that allows me to watch any Netflix show or YouTube video with subtitles in my target languages just by using their browser extension. And here is why it's a game changer. Whenever I come across a word that I don't know, I just click on it and FluentU will give me the translation instantly. But what's even cooler, along with this translation, I will get the example sentences where this word is used in different contexts. And that's really huge because learning vocabulary in context is what actually makes it stick. I think FluentU is perfect for both passive immersion and active studying. Apart from this amazing feature where I can check any word I need, I can also add it to my vocabulary list just by a click, and then I can practice them later through quizzes that FluentU will create for me. So I'm not just looking up words and forgetting them, I actually practice them later, which means I will remember them better. And if you are a beginner, FluentU makes things easier for you because they have pre-made libraries with content that starts simple and gradually gets more advanced. Actually, they have libraries for any level, so if you ever struggle to find good content in your target languages for your level, this is perfect for you. Now I can use FluentU for full study sessions or quick revisions, even on the go, because they are available on the web, iOS and Android. And what I really love is that they offer a great selection of languages, and for someone like me who is trying to maintain multiple languages, that's really convenient. Before, I'd have to stop a video, open a dictionary, type in the word, and totally lose focus. Now with Fluent U it's all instant and I can actually enjoy learning while watching something. So huge thanks to Fluent U for sponsoring this portion of the video, and if you want to try it, you can find my link in the description below where you will get a free trial and an exclusive discount from me. Nowadays I don't watch Netflix that much for the sake of watching some cool series, but I really like to practice my target languages with Netflix, and when I do watch something I look for something specifically in my target languages. However, with YouTube the story is different. I watch it every day, it's already my habit, maybe even addiction, so I don't have to implement a new habit here, I just have to find content in my target languages on YouTube and watch it. A fun way to reinforce languages is by assigning each one to a specific daily activity. For example, I do not do anything special with my native languages, Russian and Ukrainian. I already speak them naturally, so I don't need to do anything to practice them, and English too. I do not do anything special because I already have a lot of English in my daily life. I have this channel in English, I communicate with people in English, I consume tons of content in English, so I didn't do anything special to practice it. Of course, there is always room for improvement. I could reduce my accent, I could learn some more advanced vocabulary, I could learn some more grammar, but for now, my English skills are good enough for what I need, so I prefer focusing on my other languages. Which is why I'm assigning them to some daily activities or tasks I have. And what task could it be? For example, I always write my to-do lists in my target languages. Sometimes I do it with a pen, sometimes with my iPhone, it doesn't really matter, but it really helps me practice my target languages. Yes, it takes me a little bit longer than if I did that in my native language or in English, but these extra couple minutes will not save me a lot of time, but they will have a good impact on my language learning and help me maintain my languages. Same goes with shopping lists. I also write them in my target languages. This is better suited for Spanish and Polish now because my level is low for these languages, and writing shopping lists help me learn more vocabulary for food, for some shopping items. But in Croatian or German, for example, my shopping vocabulary is good enough already, so I don't have to do that. But with German and Croatian, I do something different. I try to read every day, and I really try to do it in my target languages. Mostly it's books, sometimes articles, and very rarely news. But however, if you like watching news, this is a great, amazing source of good vocabulary. So if you read news every day, just try reading them in your target language. That will help you a lot. But yeah, I'm trying to read books and articles, mostly in German and Croatian, because my level for these languages is good enough for reading and I can actually enjoy reading. So as you can see, I'm trying to attach my target languages to some daily tasks and activities, and I kind of try to do it one language per task. Just think of what you do on a daily basis and what kind of activities could you attach your languages to. Maybe you need to check something on the internet, a recipe for something, so do it in your target language. Or maybe you write a gratitude journal. Try to do it in a language you want to maintain. Choose for yourself. The choice is unlimited really and depends on your personal lifestyle. When you're juggling multiple languages, it's easy to get overwhelmed by trying to maintain it all at once. So here is a super effective habit that will help you keep your languages on track without burning out. Weekly rotations. The idea is simple. Instead of trying to learn all your languages every single day, you focus on one language per week. How does it work? So you choose one language for your week. For example, this week I'm focusing on German, next week I'm focusing on Croatian. If this week I'm focusing on German, that means that I have deep study sessions in German, I consume lots of content in German, I try to practice speaking with my speaking partner, I immerse myself as much as possible. However, while German is my main focus, I still set aside 15 minutes a day, like 10, 15, 20 minutes a day to kind of review my other languages to keep them fresh in my head. That could be simple, just reviewing some vocabulary, flashcards, maybe listening to a short podcast, maybe reading a short article. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that you spend at least 5, 10, 15 minutes every day on your other languages to keep them fresh in your head. But your main focus is one language. Why does it work? By narrowing your focus, you allow yourself to dive deeper into one language, improving your skill faster and more effectively. At the same time, by reviewing your other languages briefly on a daily basis, you don't let them fall behind. And this creates a nice balance where you progress effectively without feeling overwhelmed. I myself just started it last month and I think it's working great. I tried daily rotations previously and I even shared my study routine here, but now since I started these weekly rotations, I feel like it's less stressful and it just works better for me. The only disadvantage I see with this method is that it's probably not going to be very useful for beginners, because if you're just starting out, and especially if you're starting from zero and multiple languages, you'll probably have to dive deep into them more often and maybe rotate them on a daily basis or even study 2 languages on the same day. So I think it's not very good for beginners. However, if you level like lower, intermediate and higher, this should be good for you. Studies show that information learned right before bed has a better chance of being remembered, because our brain works overtime to process it while we sleep. The more time we review something, especially in a relaxed state, the easier it will be to recall it when we need it. This one is simple but very powerful. It's all about using the last moments of your day to boost your language skills. This habit is called the before bed memory boost. The idea is just to spend 5-10 minutes a day before you go to sleep reviewing what you learned this day. It's proven that our brain continues to work when we sleep. So if you review something you learned today right before bed, when you sleep, your brain will solidify these words and new ideas. So how do we make this habit work? There are a few ways actually, and the first one is just to simply review your vocabulary. You can use apps like Anki, Quizlet, FluentU, Buzu, whatever you are using for your vocabulary, your flashcards, just review them before you go to sleep. However, this method has one big disadvantage for me personally. If you are someone who likes to scroll before going to sleep, then it's good for you. You can substitute scrolling with reviewing your flashcards. However, if you're someone like me and you're trying to reduce your screen time before going to bed, this is not a very good idea to look at your screen again, even to review your flashcards. In this way, we'll have to substitute it to something, and what I like to do is to listen to a short podcast or to a song in my target language. This way it still helps, but I don't have to stare at my screen. Another way is to write some words or phrases in your target language, maybe gratitude journal or just 5-minute journaling about anything but in your target language before going to bed. Amazing. And if you're looking for the most effortless option, you can simply try mentally rehearsing your day in your target language. Think about how your day went, what you did today, what you like, what you didn't like, maybe what you're grateful for today, but in your target language. This is super effective as well, and maybe it will even lead to you having dreams in your target language. Now, the mistake many people make. I see it all the time, and I've done it myself as well. People think that they are maintaining their languages by watching movies, videos on YouTube, listening to podcasts, but if you never actually speak or write in your language, you're just passively consuming the information without reinforcing it. Language is a skill, you have to use it. Even just 1-minute message to your friend or a sentence said out loud can make a huge difference. So don't make this mistake. Don't be just a passive consumer of the content. Whenever you have an opportunity to practice what you've learned, to speak, to practice, do it. Use your language to keep it alive. That was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And if you're struggling to speak in your target language, I recommend you watch this video where I share techniques on how to start speaking in your target language. And as always, now I want to hear from you. Do you have your own habits that help you maintain multiple languages or just help you in language learning? If so, share them in the comments below. Let's talk, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye! Happy learning!